Hey, best friends. Welcome to the Bestie Advice Podcast. Where we discuss all things relationships. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Bestie Advice. Hey, besties. And you are with your host, Lady Karen Hayes and Dr. Irene Abrams. Irene, you want to say hey to our besties again?
Hey, besties.
The Bestie Advice is about all things relationships, whether that's with your spouse, your significant other, with your girlfriends, with your guy friends, with your families. It's all things relationships. And we like to get in and talk about the ups and the downs, the pros and the cons of relationships. And this week, we're talking about work relationships, professional work relationships. We have several guests on here today. We have Lisa Perham, Elise Baker, Jill Thompson, and Sharonda Craig. Y'all want to say hey to our besties?
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
So we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. We're going to jump right in as far as to this week's episode. And I'm going to introduce my two guests, Lisa Perham and Sharonda Craig. So Sharonda Craig, I actually have been knowing her for about 8 years. We all work actually at the same law firm as far as myself, Lisa and Sharonda, at McDermott, Will, and Emery. Sharonda actually worked in the billing department. Let's be clear. She worked in the billing department at McDermott, and Lisa also worked in the billing department at McDermott. What actually connected Sharonda and I? So I am a stickler about making sure I say people's name correctly because people jack my name up all the time. It's Karen, but they say Karan, Karan.
Yeah.
It's never really Karen. Mm-hmm. So I walked past Sharonda's desk. We will always speak because there was very few African Americans at our company. So you want to make sure, you make that connection.
Right.
When she came in, I would always speak to her, whatever. She sat like right at the door. So I'm like, okay, let me ask her how to say her name because I don't want to jack it up. I don't want to say Chuck, Rhonda, Kuran. I want to make sure I'm saying it right. So actually, that's how our relationship started. Just standing there, talking about names and the crazy, ways that people say our names or whatever. And it's one thing about Sharonda. Once she learns your name, she's going to get it right. She's going to say it right. And then she's going to correct anybody else who gets it wrong. So she would come to my desk like, yeah, we were just talking about you in a meeting. And, one of the girls kept on saying, and Karen and Karen and Karen and Karen. And I said, who in the world is Karen? Karen, the one that sits over there in that first seat. She was like, her name is Karen. It is. I don't know who Karen is. It's Karen. Okay. So, and our relationship just kind of grew from there. Me learning about her family, her learning about my family, learning about her friends, learning about some of the things that she likes to do because Sharonda loves to travel. So learning about some of the things that she likes to do. She loves her babies, her dogs. Yes, she does. She loves her baby. She is a dog lover. And then there's Lisa Perham. I love Lisa. Lisa and I actually connected because she's the type of person, she always wants to be clear. I want to be clear on how my job affects your job. So she would come over to my desk and she's like, okay, explain this to me. Explain that to me. We would start out talking about work. That'd be about 5 minutes.
Right. 5 minutes.
After that, and it kind of go on to something else. And I learned everything about her family, and her children, her mom, her dad, her brother. So I was just able to learn a lot about them. I love both of them. And then we all actually have a connection. Sharonda actually no longer works with McDermott, but we still talk to her. And then the same thing as far as with Lisa. Lisa's actually getting ready to leave the company, but we have already vowed to make sure that we keep that work relationship or outside of the work relationship there. So that's just some of the things that we do want to talk about also in this call. Okay, I'm taking up a lot of time. Dr. Irene, if you want to introduce your guest.
No, that is so good. Lisa and Sharonda, welcome to the Bestie Advice. Thank you guys so much for agreeing to come on the podcast. I really look forward to learning more about you all's relationship. So as Kieran, introduce you guys, I want to introduce Elise Baker and Georgelle Thompson. Both of them are very special, near and dear to my heart. So I was like the new kid on the block to the Joseph Business School, and our relationship developed kind of, it wasn't organic. It was like, this is y'all's relationship, effective immediately. So we were all called into a meeting, and we were all sitting around the table, and our boss just pretty much told us that we were all working together. And so we, exchanged phone numbers, and it was probably the best thing that she could have done, because we just really started bonding, and I got to know Elise, and I got to know Jill, and they're like the best people ever. So just to give a little bit of introduction, Elise and I work together at the Joseph Business School. We both run the online and innovative programs, as well as our global partner programs. And so Elise really showed me the ropes when it came to how the Joseph Business School, the online program, how it ran. And so I'm very appreciative for her patience and really showing me how everything works, because she pretty much grew up working at the Joseph Business School. So she knew all the ins and outs, and she was able to help me. And then the people that's watching, she probably looks familiar. She's so beautiful. She leads praise and worship, very anointed voice. And so it's just an honor for me to really work with her. And so our relationship developed really too, just like you said, just talking about, hair, as well as Jill talking about hair. And Elise is trying to help me with this natural journey, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, Elise, I don't know what I'm doing. My hair looks crazy, sending her all these pictures and stuff. And so, working with her has been a pleasure. And then, Jill, she is hilarious. She was like the toughest for me to break through. She was like, she had to step back and see what I was like. And then her and I just started having a lot of one-on-ones. And this girl is like a money master. Like, she is all about wealth. And so she's no longer on my team, which makes me sad. But, God blessed her to be able to do what she's anointed to do. And so she's a portfolio administrator and a trader for our new division of Living Word Christian Center, their entities. And so it's a new entity where she works for Joseph Wealth Management under her new boss is Catrice Wells. And so Jill was such a blessing to the team when she was working with me. She was the host of the Money Mondays podcast. So when she is on, she should be up there like on Channel 5 with them hosting the news. Like, she is amazing. And so, and then Jill is very good at administrative work, like keeping everything in order. She really kept our team in order, what we needed to get done, what we needed to do. So I just adore both of them. And so we keep in contact, because now Jill is no longer working with Elise and I. We keep in contact in our own like private group chat and trying to hang out outside of work. But what's so special about them is Elise and Jill grew up together, and they're really good friends. And so I think we couldn't have picked 4 better people to come on our podcast and really talk about navigating and managing work relationships, not only when you work together, what happens when you don't work together anymore. And it just lets us know like the depth of that friendship, because Kieran and I never worked together, but we met going to the same church. And so then now we don't go to the same church, but that didn't help our friendship. Actually, it made our friendship a lot better, because I'm not going to get into the people watching the friendship, they still watching. I'm not going to get into that, but, we don't go to the same church anymore, but it just made our friendship even stronger. So
yes.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely. So that's actually a good segue, Irene.
Yes.
I'm sorry. No, we do want you all to just say a little bit about yourselves. Look, I'm ready to dive all into it.
No,
we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna start with you, Elise, and then Lisa, Sharonda, and then we're gonna end as far as with Jill. Just tell us just a little bit, about yourselves.
Dr. Irene, of course, gave the professional side, I've been working with Dr. Irene for a few years now, so that's been fun. But yeah, I am, what can I say? I'm 35, single, in case anybody watching. And I am so I mean, I'm a worship leader. I've been there living the word, for my whole life. So it's just been interesting as far as like work relationships, that whole church professional life dynamic, it's always been interesting to kind of navigate. But yeah, I mean, that's I'm pretty easygoing. I love, reading and don't like long walks on the beach, and I don't know.
Both both Elise's parents work in the ministry as well. Her mom is Patrice Baker, who
yes, your mom is the bomb. Yes,
she is
Ain't
the bomb.
she cute?
She did wonders for
She
my
cute.
skin. Yes,
I
did.
like her.
You like it?
Yeah, I mean, both my parents, we all grew up in the ministry. My parents both work for the ministry. I am the oldest of two. I have a younger brother, and I'm an aunt, not a mom. Praise the Lord. And oh right, and I am. Yeah, that's me. That's me. Nothing deep.
Welcome again, Elise.
Thank you, Elise.
Oh, okay. I am 46 years old.
Y'all don't have to tell y'all ages.
Start there.
So
Because you got to let people know you slightly seasoned. A little bit, not a little bit. I am newly engaged.
Love you.
Congratulations.
Yay.
I have inherited now a blended family that involves 7 kids, 6 girls, 1 boy, 4 in college. I've worked for 2 law firms in my life, and before that I was in retail for 17 years.
Yeah.
I don't have a degree. I mean, that's it. And I just purchased my first home 4 years ago.
All right, Lisa.
Yeah.
Come on, homeowner.
That's a little bit about me.
All right. Sharonda.
Oh, I'm not telling y'all my age. Let me see. I've been in the legal field for 20 years. So haha. How about that? So I am currently a senior biller at a law firm downtown. It's slightly smaller than the one I left with Garment. It's a mid-size, it's not large at all. Contrary to what everyone believes, I'm not a people person. Right? I'm a loner.
No, it's okay.
Never take that.
I'm a loner. However, I will engage. So I will talk to you. I will. But as Lisa will tell you, if you come over to my desk, I do have my trusty headphones. So,
you love your dogs?
I love my dogs. I got 4 of them. I got 3 of them.
Oh my goodness.
Woo, woo. They're Chiweenies, and they just, if y'all see me looking off, that's because it's 8 o'clock and they ready to go to bed. So I'm trying to make them, I'm like, don't bark. We'll be upstairs. So
yeah,
because it's just usually me here. When they hear other voices, they be like, what? It's like, calm down, shorty. But I don't know. I like sisterhood. I am a sister. Mm-hmm. I have a younger brother who unfortunately is no longer with us. So now I'm the only child.
Yeah.
Right. I am an auntie. I am not a mother. I am a pet parent, but I am not a mother. I am an auntie of 6 kids. Mm-hmm. But I think I'm more like a TT mama. That's what my niece called me. TT. Whatever. I don't know that. And what else? It's a pleasure to be here with you ladies, just to hear your intake, because mine is very interesting. Because I have friends from management all the way down to the mailroom. So I want to hear what people have to think and say. A lot of them cultivated differently. Like me and Lisa's friendship started a way different than me and Caroline. So we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Jill?
Jill.
All righty, everybody. So I'm Jill Thompson. I am one of five. So there's five of us. I have two brothers and two sisters. I am the baby girl, but I am not the youngest. There is a baby boy. I, like Dr. Irene said, so currently right now, kind of switch careers, working in investments now. I do like everything, all things money. When I'm not actually trading at work, I actually started my own investment company where we flip property in Chicago and Indiana. So my schedule is pretty busy. Currently no children. We're gonna save that for marriage, okay? But I am an aunt as well, and a pet. I do have two pets though, so those are my babies, Penny and Oreo. I have two pit bulls. Those are my protectors and kids. And when I'm not at work, really, I find myself traveling. I just can't never get a lease to come on a beach with me. You know what I mean? It's the sand thing, I think. But I am always traveling. Just got back from Egypt. I was there for 2 weeks.
Nice.
Girl, you should have called me. You should have called me.
Yeah, and I may be taking another trip later on this year to Greece for my birthday. So for me, I am I spend my money on travel and clothes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of got a problem.
All of that.
Right.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump right into it. Just talking about relationships. I understand as far as all of your outside of Elise and Jill, because you all actually grew up in the church together before you even started working together, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to pose this question as far as to all of you all. Can you really be friends? So you develop these relationships at work. So I guess you all can even kind of share some experiences, Elise and Jill, maybe outside of the Joseph Business School. It don't necessarily have to even be as far as with your particular relationships. If you actually work with someone, can you be friends outside of work? For real friendship outside of work? Because it's the work relationships and we're cool at work. But then at the end of the day, can we still be friends on the weekend and all of that?
Well, I'll give some context to Alyssa's and our relationship.
Okay.
So although we grew up in church together, we really didn't start hanging out with each other until we were much older.
Okay.
We knew of one another, like we sang in the choir together. But I wouldn't say that. I think us working together is what kind of developed that relationship. I would say I would probably get Elise's opinion on that. Because before that, it's like we would kind of see each other in passing, but it wasn't until we kind of worked together that we got to see each other on a consistent basis. And it's like, oh yeah, how you doing? I know we've been knowing each other for a while. We graduated college now. We grown now. So what's been up? And so by this time, I would say yes. So to answer your question, long story short, yes, I believe a person can have a work relationship outside of work, but I would say be very careful.
Yeah.
Be very discerning. And it has to be someone that you mutually share a trusting relationship, because you're moving beyond just being coworkers, and now there's more intimacy just in that one-on-one fellowship where you may know some things about me personally that other people might not know about me. You know what I mean? Or you might hear me cuss a couple times or something. I don't need you going back telling everybody that. Okay.
Right.
That right there. Yep.
There you go. There you go.
Absolutely. You go ahead and jump in, Elise.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. Only because working, and not just because of where I work. I think because I've worked in a couple of other different places.
Yeah. And
I never hung out with those folks after we clocked out.
Yeah.
Not because they weren't great people, not because I didn't like them or, genuinely get along with them.
Yeah.
I think it's just, I don't know, it's just rare to be able to kind of connect on a on the level where everything that you talk about, everything that you reference has nothing to do with the workplace.
Yeah.
And so it's, I mean, Jill was a unicorn of a friend, you know what I mean? Because that was never really my experience. And then especially working in the church, heavens no, I'm not, I don't kick it with folks at the job after 5 o'clock. No, because like Jill said, it requires a level of trust.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think,
Absolutely.
you know, and even in my position, because it's dual, it's you know, on one hand I work on the ministry side, on the other hand I work on the business side, you know, both of us actually, altar ministry, altar worker. I mean, it don't get
so I might cast it out and be like, you know,
it don't get more sacred than altar worker, right? So you got to be real careful. You got to be real careful about who you hang around and who you let into your circles.
Yes.
You know, the more sensitive your job is, or the higher up you go, you know, because everybody can't handle, they can't separate the real you. They can't handle the real you. They can't handle the real you. Yeah. You know, so if people knew how I am off stage or outside of the workplace, they might, you know,
love you.
Thing. They would
love you.
Look,
let me interject that. They'll love you.
I feel like I'm a gem, right? Yeah. But at the same time, everybody's not who the mask that they wear when they go to work. And so you got to find people who can really vibe with that. So I would say no, but it's possible. Obviously, we're here.
That's good that you say that, Elise. It's funny because I think people they come up with their own perceptions, especially people who are in front of them. They come up with their own perceptions of how that person should be when they get off the stage, or they come from behind the camera, whatever, you know, your platform may be. And it's like, you might see another side of me. And then you saying, I'm throwing you off. No, I'm not throwing you off. It's just me. You just created this, again, this perception of me. You thought that this is how I should be. You put me in this little box. So no, I get it. Everybody can't handle you.
But that's it.
And that's all right. And that's why it's only a few people that's handling me. All right.
Right. But you know what? That goes to what, when Kiran became a first lady, you know, people was trying to tell me, oh, your friendship is going to change. Oh, she's not going to be your friend. And I was thinking, number one, we prayed for this, so we can be friends. And number two, you know, I know the real Kiran, like I know her at her core. And so although she's the first lady and I respect that anointing that's on her life, her and her husband, you have to know how to be friends with people that have positions like that. Like you being the leader of praise and worship, Elise, you are in front. And so there is a certain image that you have to have and maintain, because how many churches are looking up to Living Word, and how many churches, you know, train under what, you know, what the church does and the school does. So you have to maintain that image. So you can't, like Jill said, you can't be friends with people that you can't trust, because your position, you know, the title, what you carry is too weighty to just be friends with any and everybody. You really only have to can have a close circle of friends, because everybody can't get to know you on a personal level, because you have to be able to have friends that you can be the real Elise around, and not always feel like you have to be on, like, I'm the praise and worship leader 24 hours a day. And so, you know, it is hard to be, even people that you lead on the team, it's just hard to maintain, you know, deep, you know, friendships like that because of who you are. So I get that.
Absolutely. So Sharonda and Lisa, we want to get your take on it too. Can you really be friends outside of work?
Yes.
Agreed.
I personally think that you can, only if it grows organically. It can't be, I'm calling you just because I'm trying to be your friend, right? And that just happens because it has to be something that draws you two together. Something like me and Cameron, something as simple as our name.
Mhm. Mhm.
People pronounce our name just floor something to be beautiful, right?
Mhm.
And then with me and Lisa's friendship started actually after work hours. We
Mhm.
were actually super thick after 5.
Mhm.
And at work, she was on one end of the queue, and I
Yep.
was,
Yep.
you know,
Mhm.
we'll be texting, funny stuff, whatever. But no one at the workplace knew me and
Mhm.
Lisa had conversations at night.
Yeah.
So I guess it just depends on the people,
Yeah.
and it depends on how genuine you are. You
Mhm.
know, it
Mhm.
depends on you. Like I can say I'm not a people person, but I'm not closed. I'm not. No, no. Lisa's calling me, but I'm not going to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you know, Cameron comes to my cube and I'm busy. I can't. You can't
Mhm.
be that.
Mhm.
But if it's forced, then that's when you're going to have problems because it's not going to really flow. You're not going to
Mhm.
have anything in common. You're not going to
Yeah.
have really good conversations.
Yeah.
I can go to Karen's cube, similar to Lisa, and ask her a question because me and Karen was my AR person. So me and her work together.
Mhm.
So I can go to her desk and ask her, hey, why is this short paper? And I'll be there for like 2 hours. I don't know why I'm here. I came here to
It's
question,
true.
but that's what happened Saturday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah.
But if it's something I come to work and I see, oh, Elise, you're the lead of my department. I'm gonna try to get in to be your friend. You know,
Mhm.
that's when it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? It just doesn't work.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about you, Lisa?
I just think you have to have something that's relatable. If you know, whether it could be the stress of work, maybe your relationship starts with the stress of work, or
Mhm.
you all encounter or interact with somebody on a higher level and you get the same response. And both of you, you know, got your face turned up because you're confused about how this person is approaching you and you all connect. Anything can draw you to a person, but it has to
Yeah.
be relatable, and it starts out that way, and then you
Yeah.
start exposing personalities and
Mhm.
you know, the way you think about things, and that person shares the way they think about things, and before you know it, your philosophies match.
Yeah.
And you connect in that matter.
Yeah.
After that, trust is established because like-minded people
Mhm.
stick together. So when you meet someone and they're like-minded, you're going to be drawn to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I think it's just that, like-minded.
That's good.
That is good. So I have a question for all 4 of you. What are some of the things you do to make your friendship work? You know, outside of work.
Yeah.
So, you know, at work you have things in common. You know, like you said, Lisa, you might be turning your nose up at the boss or whatever. You know, something happens at work and you're communicating about that. But outside of work, like, what are the things that you all do to make your friendship, you know, last?
Oh, I call Sharonda at 2:00 in the morning. I won't call Karen at 2:00 in the morning because I realize there's boundaries, not because, you know, she's, you know, on that level or ever makes me feel that way. I just know that I'm not going to call her at 2:00 in the morning.
Mhm.
Not to say that I can, you know, I should be doing that Sharonda, but Sharonda answered when I called. So I was like, oh, it's okay to call her at 2:00 in the morning and tell her what I got going on. You know?
Yeah,
So,
that's
you know,
good.
you kind of test, you know, you test the waters. You,
Yeah.
like I said, it's, you know, developing relationships outside of work.
Mhm.
Well, I might call Sharonda because, you know, I got something going on with, you know, a family member or, you know, girl drama, petty
Mhm.
stuff, because I'm
Yeah.
still a
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I call, you know, Karen for when, you know, I got Stanley's over here tripping and, you know, maybe I need prayer because I'm getting ready to, you know, not so many nice words, you know, it could be anything.
Right,
You know,
right.
it
We don't
could
want
be
you to get
anything.
Stanley.
Yeah, you know, I'll call because I believe that spirituality and wisdom go hand in hand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I could call Sharonda and she's level-headed. She'll be like, no, you were wrong. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that. And I might call Karen to share, well, this is what Sharonda shared, or, you know, what do you think? And she'll give me, you know, she might give me a word balanced with her experience and just being a woman and just being in, you know, a marriage, a relationship, like having a family.
Yeah.
So I just, like I said, I think it just boils down to like a level of trust and those situations that are relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we cannot talk for months, and I could text Sharonda something funny and we'll pick up like we never stop talking.
Oh yeah. Those are the best types of friendships. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that open? Is leaving that communication open as far as if that's what
it's
works?
always open. No
Yeah.
offense if you don't hear from me in 2-3 months. But when we reconnect, we reconnect for hours. I think Sharana, we talked for like over an hour about a week or so ago.
Mhm.
Now we hadn't talked in months, you know, text here and there,
Yeah.
but called her. We talked for a couple hours. We caught up. Now we caught up. You know, now she knows everything's going on, knows everything's going on with her, you know, and then we'll wait for the next round.
Yeah.
And it was during work hours.
It was. Definitely was. She was on speaker. I was working. She was on speaker, and we was just, you know,
Like we were working together. It was like we were both like, y'all. Okay,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah.
Sir, this
yeah, 1 second. Let me send this email. Yeah. But you know, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, Jill. How do you?
For me,
and
I would say dates, right?
Yeah.
So I gotta have my girl dates, and the reason why is because we all have busy schedules. I mean, you know, Doc is married. Elise schedule,
Yeah.
listen, that baby, she works round the clock. I thought I worked around the clock, okay? But Elise works
Yes.
around the clock. But every so often we send each other a message to be like, okay, we got to do a timeout.
We do.
We need our girl date. Like, I don't care if we just go eat, but we all just need to meet up and do something just to catch back up. And I totally agree with you about having a friend that, because I am that friend. I would say one important piece about too, when you're establishing a work relationship, when it comes to understanding personalities, is, you know, every friendship requires a different level of intimacy. And what I mean by that is some people want you to call them every day. I don't got time to call you every day. I'm busy. And so for me, I work best with friends that it's like, if I call you today, but you don't hear from me in 3 days, you okay, unless it's an emergency. And you know, okay. Blow that phone up and you know I got you.
Right.
But everybody can't flow to your beat, right? And so it's like you have to find people. It's like, well, we flow together. It's like Elise is always busy. If I don't talk to her for 2 weeks, it's okay. But when we see each other, we're gonna catch back up, like, you know, like it's salt and peppers here. And we it's one of them situations. And so but overall, I mean, for us, what sustains the relationship is we try to as a group, we all try to make sure we're available to have dates, even if it's we tried to once a month, but that wasn't working.
That didn't work.
It wasn't working. So we were just like, let's do once a quarter. Let's get to once a quarter and try to get everybody together.
Yeah.
Elise, did you want to chime in on that before we go to the next question?
Well, I mean, I would have to agree. I mean, the friend dates, definitely, and also trying to come up with new things that we both might be interested in, just so that we're not doing the same thing all the time, like, or just get into a rut where it's like we just got a text relationship, you know, happening, because that does happen. I mean, there are friends that I have, close friends that I have, that all we do, I've never even talked to them on the phone. I see them and, you know, we'll text, but I've never even talked to this person on the phone. You know what I mean? So we try to find, friend dates and try to find new things that we might be interested in doing as well. So those friend dates are, it's imperative, because like she said, we could go a minute. And I used to get upset about that too, actually. Like, this chick would disappear for like 3 weeks. Mind you, we were still working in the same department. So I see you every day, and she'd be like, "Yeah, what up?" Like, what? Chick, what? Why you like, you know what I mean? Like, you just disappeared. You know what I mean? It was getting real, like, boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm feeling, I'm feeling some sort of, I'm in my feelings. I'm feeling like I'm being neglected here, but then I understood it when I had that same season, you know what I mean? Where I was just like disappearing. And she was like, where you been? Where you at? Who you with? Who you hanging with? What you eat? What you eat today? What you do? And then we kind of came to an understanding like, hey, it's not that, I'm ignoring you or that, we're not good or anything. I'm in a season right now where I just gotta be by myself, you know what I mean? Or I don't feel like really talking a whole lot. And so, like you said, finding someone who can flow to your beat, that really helps, because that level of understanding is also, I feel like, what really keeps things just in a healthy space.
Absolutely. And I believe that like the key thing, and I think that's in any relationship across the board, is that communication is key. To even find out about that person's love language. I know we use the whole love language when it comes to a husband and a wife, or your significant other, but that's also in friendships as well.
Oh yeah,
like, what
definitely.
is your friend's love language? Is it is it quality time, as far as that they need? Like I know with Irene, one of Irene's love language, outside of gifts, because she loves gifts, but it is but it is quality time, as far as with Irene. So with me growing up the way that I did, being like the only child for the first 8 years. So now my brother and sister come along. They're not even a year apart, but it's 8 and 9 years between us. I'm still the only child. I'm kind of feeling that way. So I was okay with being by myself with my puzzles and my coloring books and my crosswords. I'm good. I don't have to talk. I'm straight. So, as far as now, you get married and you develop other relationships, and it's like you can't be by yourself all the time. So it does go back to communications. It's talking things out. And Irene will tell you, her and I, oh my God, when we first became really, really close, we would be on the phone for hours every day.
Every day, yeah.
From the time I left my house on Holman Avenue all the way downtown. Get to work. Wait a minute, I'm getting on the elevator. Irene, the phone about to cut off. It's gonna cut off as soon as I get on the elevator. As soon as I get upstairs, calling her back. On the phone for hours. We're emailing. Not so much, texting really went like that. Emailing each other.
Oh, that's funny.
So I mean, that's how it was. Now it's not as often, but when we do talk, if you look at our phone records, it's
oh my God
2 hours. She'll be like, okay, I just called to tell you this one quick thing. Quick, it's 2 hours. That's 2 hours.
Yeah.
But that's how we do things. But it is about communication. It's a quick text message. Hey girl, checking on you. What's going on? A funny message, some type of meme, or some type of gift or whatever that you're sending to one another, just to keep the communication open. Communication is
That's
key.
true.
Yeah.
Oh yes, please talk about the memes, because Doc, he can come up with some stuff. Okay. Listen. Doc
you need deliverance. Your TikTok needs deliverance. Okay. No.
Doc will send some stuff at 10 o'clock at night. Now we good in bed, ready to go to sleep for work.
Right.
And I mean, out of nowhere, we all on the phone.
Dr. Irene,
like what? Like what is this?
Like, we got devotion in the morning.
And then, not to mention, we be on the phone all night laughing so much, we be like, Doc, go to bed. Where's Mitchell? Go to bed.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I have a question to ask, and this is Sharon was talking about this article that she read about the cons of work friendships. And so I thought it was really good, because I know the answer for Elise and Jill and myself. I know the answer. Can a result of too much socializing at work result in less productivity? And I think about all the meetings in my office. I have to do air quotes, meetings in my office where it started out like, seriously, Jill would come in with her computer. She'd be like, I'm gonna put all of our notes in our Google file, and we would be going, and something would happen, and we would look up, it'd be like the end of the day, and we were in there laughing, talking, looking through my office door to see who's trying to come in the office, guard in my office to make sure no one else can hear our conversation.
No. We had to get to the point we gotta lock the door to have a meeting. You gotta lock the door to have a meeting. We would just bust in on each other's meetings. I'd be like, okay, I gotta tell you this. I gotta tell you this. And Elisa bust in on a meeting. We'd be like, you know what? Why we got meetings? We should just
well, because I would try to have one-on-ones, it didn't work. I just like group meetings. So,
No,
but we were productive, but we did a lot of socialize. Even during the pandemic, we had 2 weekly meetings, and we would try to get stuff done, and we would, but it would be like we spent hours on the phone just socializing. But having to say that, that's when I grew to know more about Jill and her personality, and more about Elise and her personality, and they learned a lot about me, and so we were able to work well together, and our team was amazing.
Yeah.
But we were also able to have a friendship and a relationship outside of work where, if I needed to come to them, or if I needed help, or if they saw people ganging up on me, they would protect me, or vice versa, we would cover for each other. And so it just really grew to be like a love, sisterhood relationship. And I just really didn't see them anymore as, coworkers. They really became friends. And I had texted Elise after BLC. I was like, she's like a home girl, I couldn't think of another word. Like, I was like, how can I describe? You were talking about how hard it was, and we got through it. I was like, I don't know no other word, because it's like cold. Say, oh, you're my coworker. I don't feel like that. Like, she's just a coworker, or Jill is just a coworker. I'm trying to plot how she can come back to my team. Like, I need Jill to come. I need her to come back, And so it's like, yes, too much socializing can result in a loss of productivity. It can result in a loss of productivity. However, what we did was we made it work, because we ended up working like after hours, or working, extra hours to make sure that we got everything done, and we did it well. However, we did spend a lot of time, like you said, Sharonda, during work hours.
No, it's funny, because we would be at work, and it would get to the point, especially when you heard something juicy and good, you got to go tell somebody.
It's usually around 3 o'clock.
Right.
That's that 3 o'clock hour where you like, my brain has shut down.
Yes.
You'll see what Karen's doing.
Yes, and Lisa would come over to my desk. She'll start talking. One person will walk by. I grab some paper. I'm like, girl, here, hold it. Just hold it. Act like you're talking about something. Act like you talking. So she's standing there like she reading something off the paper. I'm like, wait, let me go to my billing screen. Wait, hold on.
Exactly.
Go ahead and talk.
the billing screen.
Go ahead and talk. Or I'll go over to Sharonda's desk with a stack of papers in my notebook. Girl, did you hear? The whole conversation right there. Yes, we would. Yes.
Oh my God.
We would. But
as long as we got our questions out first, let's start that first.
Exactly. Let's get the work done first. And then after that, we'll talk. But I can't say, even though society said that is a con, it's less work, it did help to grow the relationships and to strengthen the relationships. Look, I hope bosses ain't watching, but it does help to grow and actually strengthen the relationships of the people. So it's a pro for relationship, a con for work, but a pro for relationships.
And it helps us, like, as far as like, say an issue comes up, I'm comfortable enough where I can go and talk to Karen about it. If I messed up, she messed up. Hey, look, this is what happened. You tell me what you did, so I can go in here and defend both of us. You tell me your
stick together.
Let's stick together. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. Okay, you know what I'm saying. So when she come and ask you, you know. All right. Right.
Oh,
So-
It does boost team. What you're saying that I think with having close relationships, it will boost the team morale.
It does.
Now this
Yeah.
article did say it'll create cliques,
It
but
does.
But
it'll
cliques
create cliques.
Well-
Having relationships at work creates cliques.
Do you
Do
guys,
y'all-
Elise
do
or
y'all
Jill,
feel
do y'all
that?
think that? I was gonna say, do you think that we were a clique, or do you think it created a clique, or they felt like it was a clique?
That sound like one.
if
I
y'all
think
closing the
I-
door while the
I-
meeting,
I
y'all
feel
got
like- yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm just like, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, y'all behind
I'm like, they tight.
well,
behind that
They
door.
were. I think we did kind of have our own little clique because we not gonna name no names, but you know, a lot of people start saying we are always laughing, like we want to hang out. What y'all talking about all the time is always, and they was like, and then I know y'all talking because her cubicle over there, your cubicle over there, your office over there, and everybody laughing at the same time. Y'all ain't with each other, but I can hear it.
I mean, not only that too, I don't know how I can't speak for every organization, of course, but I know that the way our department was structured, it was structured where there were teams and there were
Yeah.
sub departments, silos and sub departments, and it just so happened that it organically worked where you know, the three of us and one other of our team members, we were one other person, we were all put together, and it just happened to work out that way. So I know I don't know if that happens everywhere else. That just happened to be, again, a unicorn of a situation.
It really
just,
was, yeah.
You know,
But
where
I
all
don't
of
think-
us.
But okay, so I'll rephrase. I don't think it was a clique because we were very accepting to anybody who wanted to, you know, no, at least because I can think of one other
I'm with you.
person
Elise
who
said,
we
not
would
so,
hang
not
out
so.
with her. She was more quiet. You know who I'm talking about. She was on y'all team.
Well, no, wait, that true, but
Yeah,
not true.
yeah.
She was still on our team.
She was part of the
she's on our
clique.
team.
She was part of the clique. That don't
She's on our
count. That
team.
don't
She was on
count.
our team. Yeah.
That don't count. No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
When,
That don't-
this is when you know it's been confirmed that it's a clique or people kind of know that you all are friends. If your boss pulls you in the office and they say, yeah, so I know you and Elise are friends. No, she's my coworker.
You know what?
Let
Let
me
me tell
ma'am,
you something.
ma'am, what are you talking about?
Let me tell you something. Flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you. 'Cause that would literally be a conversation. Like, I know y'all gonna cover for each other. I already know.
Guilty.
We've had Lisa and Sharon and I, we've had some conversations where our director will pull one of us, you know, in the office or whatever. And it's like, yes, I know you're friends with Sharonda. What they got to do with this conversation right here?
Right. Why do you leave?
What
with
is your
that?
question?
Yes.
Why?
What is your question?
Because
You
I
sound like a lead. I be the fail for it. I be like, yeah, why? What happened?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
what
like,
does it have to do with
I'm like,
anything?
no, you
That's
fishing.
me. That's
No.
me.
See,
What
you
is it? What
fishing.
is it that you want to know?
There you go. I'm like,
Right.
you fishing and I'm not biting.
Exactly.
No. The best is when your coworker says this. I know Lisa's your girl, but if you know she my girl, then
Join us next time for part 2 of Navigating Work Relationships. Thanks for joining us today. See you next time.